There's one. What a little beauty. I'm going to expose this death adder. I'm in no danger at all. They're a very shy, timid, placid snake, and this is what causes them most of their problems, in that they won't retreat and run out of people's way. They'll sit, relying on their camouflage, thinking they're safe. People stand on them, whack, they bite low and hard.
This looks dangerous, I know, but the secret is being as slow and smooth as the snake is.
Now this is a potentially dangerous situation we've got here. Nothing worse than a death adder through your shoelace. Have a look at this little beauty. Aren't they glorious? This is the death adder. Very short, stout body. Quite a large, boofy head, triangular-shaped head. Now, death adder by name, not by nature. As you can see, the death adder is very placid, very quiet and timid, and very uninclined to bite or strike. Just got to keep my fingers out of the way. Now, the death adder's also got a very good set of fangs. A lot larger than any of the others that we're going to take a look at. He's settled down nicely, straight back under his leaf litter. It's important for me to remember that I'm a visitor in his territory and this is his environment, so I better get out of here because I've got a heck of a climb before sundown.
Cold-blooded animals tend to slow down at night, unless they're like the death adder and hunt other cold-blooded animals. In that case, dusk can be the start of the working day. But the death adder doesn't work too hard. It has a fisherman's laziness. It uses a cunning lure, its tail. The rest of the snake stays entirely still, while the tail sticks up and wriggles like a worm. A skink comes along, sees the worm, sneaks up on it, and gets a deadly injection of venom. It's a huge overdose, a lot more than is needed to kill one skink, but the death adder is economical with its strikes. As a cold-blooded reptile without internal heating, this snake doesn't have to eat much. The death adder won't need another meal for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Snake number 8 goes without eating for months. The giant tiger snake is found on Mount Chapel Island, just off the coast of Tasmania. Aboriginals used to call this the moving island because it heaves with 6-foot-long snakes.
There you go, sir.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot.
No worries.
You're not coming with me?
No way, mate. Too many snakes here for me.
Well,
See you later.
trip.
Yep.
The snakes, of course, don't realize how much they frighten humans. In fact, when they sense Steve coming, they're frightened and hide in their holes. He has to search for them.
This island is absolutely riddled with burrows. Now, here's a relatively fresh one. Just have a little look down in here. Oh!
The holes are actually dug by birds, mutton birds, named by the local people for the way they taste. Masses of them breed here every summer, and it's their chicks that the snakes live on all year round. It takes a couple of months for the chicks to fledge and fly away, and after that the snakes just give up eating and wait 10 months for another muttonbird season.
Now this is a juvenile, and he's still got these bands, very typical of the tiger snake, which he'll lose as he reaches adulthood. And you can see how nippy he is. A little bit naughty. Whoa. Now, check this out. Here's the difference. This place crawls with snakes. Have a look at this one. This is an adult. Very large. Probably got a mutton bird in his belly there. And he's lost all those bands and his solid black colour. And he's a beauty. Now, unlike that smaller one, he'd have no natural predators. And he's very quiet.
If Steve is going to show us these snakes, he has to handle them, but he's very gentle with them. He doesn't grab the snake behind the head the way everybody thinks you're supposed to pick them up. That can hurt the snake and make it want to bite. A snake has a delicate backbone, easy to snap. Steve tries to support the body with his hands and to make sure that part of it is always on the ground.
Just let him go back down this mutton hole.
Then I'd better be off. No time to hang around on this trip.
As Steve flies back to the mainland, the muttonbirds return to Mount Chapel Island after several days spent feeding out at sea. They bring back fish for their chicks. When the chicks grow big enough to fledge, all the birds will fly north, but the burrows won't be left empty. They'll be used as nurseries by female tiger snakes that fattened up on muttonbird chicks the previous summer. These snakes produce a clutch of babies, born, unlike most snakes, without benefit of an external egg. They simply come out fully formed, armed already with the world's 8th strongest venom, and completely independent. Steve's number 7 is another kind of tiger snake. This one's back on the mainland, in Western Australia, in the swamps.
This is one location where I really need to keep my wits about me. Reason being, the tiger snakes are thick on the ground. They're in the water, they're under the grass, they're basking on top of the grass, and they're also throughout the reeds.
So maybe waist deep in water is not the safest place for Steve to be. Anyway, up on the bank, the snakes are easier to spot.
As a general rule, if you use good solid footsteps, snakes are quick to get out of your way. Now, I've been very stealthy, very tender with my feet, and the reason being there's a snake in here. They have no ears. They sense vibration. Footsteps pounding away, snake will scatter. So if I get over the top of this snake and shout at it, "Hey, snake!" it won't react. It can't hear me. Here he comes. Be a bit careful. What I need to do is get him over here on the flat ground so we can deal with him.
He's starting to move away there.